Yeah, we're just going. Because guess what, Joe?
We're just bouncing in because somebody took forever to get things going.
Oh, my
God. Had to do a new link.
Had
to do this and that.
Shove this up your ass, dude.
You're not sucking dick from back anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Giving that up? You've retired?
First of all,
you did it far too
God
much.
You wear glasses, because I swear to God, you would have the most pink eye within a 25-mile radius because of how you eat ass, how you let strippers
Hey,
put
first
your
of
face
all,
in their
I'm
ass.
not going to have you defame anybody that eats ass on this show. We are a pro ass eater show. Keith, I can see it in your eyes. You're a pro ass eater guy. Nothing wrong with it, Keith. Good for you. And it makes us stronger. It builds some hair on our chest, builds our character. And I'm sorry that's why you're not going to be a good father. That's why I'm the host of this show and you're kind of co-host. Because you're not a man that eats ass. You don't have what it takes, the characteristics to eat ass.
Why would anybody make you a host?
You know who eats ass?
Why would you? Because you would cancel the party.
Malik Willis
3 hours
eats ass.
All right,
Malik Willis eats ass, and that's why he's going to be a quarterback for the next 2 decades
I have
on the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Best take. I have the best take from Malik Willis. Anyways, welcome to the Face of the Franchise, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Michael the Pharaoh Shanuti, and always to my front is Little Joe Ooh, and we have a special guest with us today. One of my good friends from back in college. We're still great friends today. He is in my fraternity. He is the Ohio State Buckeyes #1 fan.
Yes, sir.
Keith, the gymnast.
No nickname.
The gymnast. I said gymnast. Grothaus. So, welcome to the show, Keith. Thank you so much for coming.
Appreciate you guys having me. I'll do my best
all
to
he needs is Keith,
give insight.
Period. Keith.
Yeah.
That's all you need. The key to the castle is with Keith right now. Because guess what, Keith? You just came on the best show that you could ever come on. It was our pre-draft show where I'm going to say some things to Joe because Joe thinks that the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to draft somebody that I'm not going to like, but I know for a fact he's going to draft somebody he's not going to like for the Commanders. So it's just going to be a brilliant show. Oh, and
who says we're keeping on to our first round pick?
Keith is also a Bengals fan, so he has the best future out of all of us. So there you go.
Congratulations, by the way. Was a huge supporter of you guys this past season. Won me a whole lot of money. Let's get Keith's take. Let's get his first take on the show. Draft expert, first guest we have on the whole entire show. So welcome. Just give us your little outlook and future on the Bengals. How are you feeling as a Bengals fan? You got a couple of people coming up in Ohio State too that maybe you'd like to have join that team. A couple weapons that would be a nice compliment to Jamar. Give us your breakdown. What do you see for the Bengals in the next couple of years?
I mean, the future is bright, but man, did the AFC North just get ridiculous? I mean, the whole Deshaun Watson, the Steelers rebuilding. You got the Ravens coming back. They're going to be healthy. It's going to be tough. We're just going to beat the hell out of each other we could split every single series. Yeah. And it's just going to be a dogfight to get into the playoffs. Now, I love what we did in the offseason. I would love to take a corner. Now, who I really wanted, but had way too good of a draft day, is Stingley from LSU. That was my guy. Mm-hmm. But the more that I'm reading, this guy from Florida, Elam, is who I'm really big on. We need someone who
son of a bitch.
We need Eli Apple to
get that first name
out of Cincinnati.
You son of a bitch.
Eli Apple. Kair. Is that how you say it? Kair?
No, I'm saying son of a bitch because I want
like
Elam.
Yeah. I mean, look, I think we either go corner or I really like that center from Iowa. I think he'll go before us.
Tyler, what's his
Lindenbaum?
name?
Lindenbaum, yep. I really like him. Iowa's just known for breeding these dudes, massive, quick, athletic. Be happy with him, but would also really like an interior defensive line. So I think my stack would go corner, offensive line, defensive line. Don't know why they're looking at wide receivers, but who knows?
You kind of like how the Steelers pump out wide receivers is kind of how you guys are doing right now. You have D. Higgins and Jamar Chase. Obviously, they're on the rookie contracts, but what are you going to do after them? Tyler Boyd might be gone. You want to get younger at that position. Obviously, you want to maximize Joe Burrow before his contract hits and Jamar's hit. So that's what kind of I read, and that's the only reason why I would say
I'm with Keith on that, though. To interrupt for a second. I mean, I think they need help in that secondary. I think there's a kid out of Washington named Trent McDuffie that I like a whole lot that would be a great pickup that
That's
could
a Joe,
potentially
my
fall
guy.
to you guys at 31. I'm definitely with you on that. I think you guys have those young receivers that you can kind of build on and rely. I think if Tyler Boyd sees obviously what's in the mirror and what's on paper, you're going to stick around. You'd be dumb not to.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
so boy, I mean,
am I wrong?
I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, it's all going to depend on contracts. Like what Shruti said, like if these guys ball out, are we going to even be able to afford to keep the trio? That's why we're kind of built to win right now, but we're also very young.
I would
so
say
the better these guys do, the harder it's going to be to hold on to them at a good price.
I think the odd man out and all that is Tyler Boyd, and then you would have to say Joe Mixon would be out too, because with the new NFL, like the running back position, you could just plug and play. And
I've been 5 years. Yeah, you got 5 years and you're out. So
as much as I love Najee, if we keep running Najee how we are 5 years from now, you will hear me say he's gonna be gone. He's gonna be gone.
I think there's that cap on running back, and then the wide receiver market, as we all know, is exploding, and why you might be a little nervous on keeping Tyler Boyd. But I don't see them going past the Chiefs that they did. I mean, we know how that kind of shaked out now, but 2 years ago, they were working those contracts to keep those pieces together. I see that chemistry. I know it's a business, it's the NFL, yada, 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 but we've seen that in the past. I think this is a team that they're going to do it, Keith. They have that chemistry to try to figure out a way to stay together.
Right.
But that's a very rare optimistic take from me.
So you brought up the contracts. I think really, and I don't know how you guys mocked it out, because all three of us kind of mocked out our drafts a little bit. The guy that's really big right now, and we all know the news, is Deebo Samuels. Where is he going to go? Is he going to go? John Lynch came out of nowhere and said, I can't imagine trading him. But I mean, everybody has to say that. Everybody has to talk about it. Now, that's a guy I'm looking at for, like, you talk about the Jets, you talk about the Ravens, you talk about the Eagles. Like, these teams could go and get Deebo, and then because they have those younger quarterbacks, they could just sign them.
They got cap space. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I was even thinking Panthers.
Panthers, yeah.
The Panthers go with a young quarterback, get a nice, foundation. You got CMC there still. That's the ideal franchise if he wants to go somewhere and get paid. I think either that or the Jets. Eagles, yeah, he could be a good fit. But I think he's going to fit best in the offense. With taking the load off of CMC is going to be big, I think, for his longevity and just their success, that they're going to bring in a young quarterback.
Well, don't forget teams that do have quarterbacks on big contracts. They could just do it all front loading the first 2 or 3, or back loading the last 2 to 3 years. So you have the Packers and the Chiefs who have the capital now because they outfloated Adams and Hill, go younger at that position, and then see what happens. I mean, really, I don't know what this. I think Deebo really just came out and said what we just said about the running back position. He doesn't want to jeopardize his future running the ball that much from that position. He wants to be a premier wide receiver. He wants to be looked at as a premier wide receiver, not just this switchblade running back wide receiver thing. And it came out that the 49ers were willing to pay him for that position, not just wide receiver. He's just like, no, dude, I really don't want it. I mean, let's be honest. Would you want to catch balls from a guy who couldn't beat out Jimmy G? No. I am very sold out on Trey Lance now that I knew what happened in the offseason. Everybody basically busted a nut because of a pass he threw to Deebo in training camp. And I was like, well, if he's that good, why are they riding Jimmy G? Even though Jimmy G did take him to the NFC Championship game, I just think he was more of an Alex Smith than anything.
He's not going to win you games. He's not going to win you games. He's going to keep you in games. They're going to rely on the run game. They're going to play good defense, but he's not going to go out and win the last game on the last second drive.
Exactly.
Listen, we know the story on porn star Jimmy, right? I mean, I think everybody knows he's not the guy to take you over the hump by any means. I think the jury's still out on Trey. He definitely deserves his shot, but at the same time, it's just the response to the wide receiver market. To go back to that, that's why Deebo is acting the way he is. That's why we talked a little bit about last week, Newt. That's why you have Scary Terry that's not participating in off-season programs right now as well. You have a couple different guys that are basically bowing out because they see themselves as that premier wide receiver. If anybody's earned it, especially in the last 2 seasons, it's a guy named Deebo Samuel. It's plain and simple, and he deserved to be paid at the wide receiver premium market position right now. Definitely not that running back position. I like the combination that we could potentially see with, let's say, a CMC and Malik Willis in joining our guy Deebo Samuel. Who knows, that is speed that I would absolutely fall in love with. I think there's a lot of distractions and a lot of firepower. We'll get to Malik. Don't worry, Nude. I know you're excited for him to be your quarterback for the next 2 decades. But I always find a way to get in there, don't I, buddy? But no, I think that Deebo right now is you shouldn't trade him away. You've got to find a way to have him part of your team. I think the 49ers are dumb if they don't. And they got to find value to go ahead and pay that guy. Do they have it right now? Not at all. So I think it's going to be interesting how it kind of plays out over the next couple of weeks. But a headline that is so tired, Nude, that I think it literally makes people puke. It literally makes people gag. But because this guy does deserve a spot. He's deserved a spot the last 5-6 years now. We got to talk about it because I put it on the outline for a reason. Is he finally going to get picked up this year? Let's start with our draft expert, Keith. Is Colin Kaepernick finally going to get picked up? And if he does, is he going to earn a starting role?
Absolutely not. There's no chance in hell. After, what is it? How long? When's the last time you played? 4 years?
5 years, 6 years? 5 years.
This dude's 34 years old. He took a team to the Super Bowl, sure, but he wasn't winning them a Super Bowl. And it's been this long. Like, he wants to be a starter. He's not a starter in the league right now. He's a backup at best. Could he get picked up? Yes, but does someone want to take that on? Probably not. And that's why I'm saying, is he good enough? Yes, to be a backup, but he's not going to be. He's not going to get picked up. Look, no one wants to deal with that headache.
Yes. The only reason why I said no is because, and I want everybody to realize this, when you fuck with the bottom line in the NFL, you're fucking with might as well be fucking their wives, their daughters, their granddaughters. He fucked up the bottom line. And
yeah, 1,000%.
He knew the risk too. Let's be honest. Let's not sit here and say, oh, he didn't know what was going on. He knew what he was gonna do. He asked, he got the permission, he did all this. I understand. Like, I'm only angry because at first I was like, all right, like, Colin did a great job. Colin brought awareness to a certain issue, and in a way that he did ask permission. I want everybody to understand that. Him kneeling, he asked an Army veteran, should I do this? And he said yes. Now, after a few years, now it's just getting tiresome in the sense of, like, him working out, him doing staying ready, blah, blah, blah. Bro,
dude, the throws against the air just kill me.
It's just,
like if you're a pro level quarterback and you can't if you can't throw a fade route, like,
yes,
bro,
dude,
come on, like that's not impressive to me. Even when these college kids at pro days, like, is it really that impressive that you can throw a football?
Exactly. You should have known.
You should know. We've gotten to the point, Nude, and Keith, where it's very, with all due respect to Cap, it's very much the conversation of, like, who's better, LeBron or Michael Jordan? Is Tom Brady gonna retire? Is Tim Tebow and Jesus best friends, or just best friends for forever? Like, it's the same topic that's hit its head over and over again.
It's the same recycled bullshit. And the funniest part about it is Pete Carroll was on record saying, if we didn't have this guy named Russell Wilson, I'd for sure sign Colin Kaepernick. Well, guess what, buddy? You have Swaggy Drew, and you have where's the signing? Still hasn't signed him yet because they're probably still trying to get Baker for a penny. So who cares at this point?
I'll quote our boy Jimmy Rizzo. If my aunt had nuts, she'd be my uncle.
Bingo. Right? Hey, shout out Jay Riz. Shout out Jay Riz, bro.
Quick side note. Right now, are we taking Baker Mayfield? Are we taking Baker Mayfield for a six-pack of Bud Heavy? Over under, are you taking that you get Baker Mayfield to your team, and you get a six-pack of Bud Heavy? Are you taking that deal, Keith?
Well, Keith has Joe Burrow, so I don't think that's fair.
Keith not taking that deal. Nude, a little more desperate of a man in a tough situation, but I mean, obviously you have a gem of a quarterback coming your way.
I'm on record. He is a better quarterback than Mitch Trubisky. He is a better quarterback than any QB in this fucking draft. I will take him for a six-pack of Bud Heavy.
You get that. You get Baker and a six-pack of Bud Heavy. Congratulations. It's going to be a little bit of controversy. In fact, no controversy once Malik Willis gets on the team as the obvious first week starter. Last thing I want to say before we get to our official draft show is, Keith, I must know, I've got to know, in terms of, actually, I don't think I had anything else, dude. Did I have anything else?
No, you don't have anything else. You want to do surprises at the end, but
I did. I did have a Kyler officially ending the drama. Beef.
Stop. Next. Kyler,
next topic.
Listen, Kyler, AJ Brown, all you
next topic.
Divas, stop. Just
stop. Antonio Brown drops a instant classic album. I can't stop listening to it personally. New thoughts on Antonio Brown's album, The Paradigm. Do you have anything to say?
My God, next.
All right,
dude,
ladies and gentlemen. By the way, that is terrible.
This is a real thing.
It's not even worth a bit, dude. It's not even worth a bit. That is the worst album I've ever heard. It is disrespectful to rap, hip hop, the music as a whole. And if you listen to music as a human being and it makes you feel better or feel anything in any way, toss that out in the trash or put it on Kanye's stim player. Never listen to it. It is
dog. I forgot what music festival it was this week. He was on stage, and there was like a group of people. It's a nice amount of people. Not one person was cheering, clapping, or any. And this man is throwing money. You can't get a crowd to cheer when you're throwing money. Like, that's how I know you've fallen from fucking grace, you dickhead. Like, oh my God. Of course, the dude showed his abs, showed everything. Didn't get a single girl wet. It was drier than the fucking Sahara Desert in that bitch. So I don't want to, like, it's just honestly ridiculous what he's doing. Sorry, I had to say it. Let's go to the draft. It's the NFL draft show, baby.
Welcome to the 2022 Face of the Franchise NFL Draft Show, where we do the mocks you've been waiting for. You've seen thousands of mocks, everybody's hot take, but we've all been waiting for what Little Joe Ooh, what Michael Shanuti, and of course, our insider draft expert, Keith. How do I say that last name, Keith?
Grothaus. You don't have to try. It's all right. Just say G.
Keith Grothaus and our draft expert. Welcome to the show. We're gonna start off, boys. I wasn't part of the pre-show rundown, but let's go ahead. Let's start off. Just give your mock. I say let's just run it down. Let's give our 1 through 32, 1 to 2 reasons why. We let each person go. And hey, 40% host, I'd love for you to go ahead and kick us off. Michael Shanuti, why don't you start us?
All right, you're a piece of shit. Jacksonville Jaguars. So everybody has a lot of opinions on this pick. I think I'm going to go offensive lineman. I'm going with the best offensive lineman in the draft. I'm going Evan Neal from Alabama. Listen, when you see this guy block for some of the best quarterbacks that we're talking about, like where you say Bryce Young, Mac Jones, all of them, he is rock solid, and he will protect that edge rusher from getting to Trevor Lawrence, especially in a division where you have Bud Dupree. When you have those beasts from Indianapolis, you have all those different guys. I think he's going to keep them upright. I think they finally invest in that. They need to invest in that. Evan Neal is the pick right here for me.
I like that. That's kind of where I have him as well, though. But run it down for us. I think I was saying let's do 1 through 32, Nude.
Okay, 1 through 32. Now we go to Keith's favorite player, Aiden Hutchinson. He goes to the Lions. He is a Michigan native.
Biggest cuck in the draft.
I mean, that dude, like, be compared to Chase Young and the Bosas or whatever it was. I think it's so asinine. Like, both those brothers are just on another level. Like, they're the top defensive ends in the league outside of obviously T.J. Watt. Like, is the guy going to be good? Yes, 100%. But to compare them to the Bosa brothers right now is ridiculous.
It's a crazy. I think everybody
absolutely asinine. Could not agree more.
Everybody just is in love with that new pass rusher, and I think he's just the guy. Especially going to a place where a guy just said, "We want to bite everybody's kneecaps off." Everybody's just so excited for him to be on that team. He's from Michigan. He is athletic. He is technically
hometown
sound.
Kid. Hey,
hometown
I'm with
kid.
it. Good for him.
Now,
but I mean, with all due respect, go fuck yourself.
I'm with it.
By the way, love that we needed Keith on the show for a reason. He's a draft expert for a reason because he's able to identify the biggest cuck in the draft. That is a special skill. I don't know why NFL Network or ESPN hasn't given you a contract yet, Keith, for that amazing work.
So my number 3 pick, this is the guy to the pick. So I want everybody to realize that the Houston Texans are in shambles. So they're just going to pick the best available player, in my opinion. And this guy is actually projected to be the number 1 overall pick. I just think at this point in time, you protect Trevor Lawrence over getting to the passer. So here I picked Trayvon Walker, the guy from Georgia, edge rusher, very versatile. He reminds me a lot of Bud Dupree and Chase Young. He can get to the quarterback as fast as he can, especially in a division where we just talked about it. I mean, like, that division is really up for grabs unless the Titans, if something happens to the Titans, it's up for grabs. And Indy has now Matt Ryan. They're solid quarterbacks. They're just staying in quicksand. So might as well just fucking get Walker, get to the quarterback, get to where you need to go. So
I think Trayvon's being undervalued in this draft too, by the way.
I'm gonna spoil he's my number 1. I think that dude's an absolute freak.
He's a freak
right there with you. I honestly saying Keith is the same thing.
Nature.
Trayvon Walker is my number 1 overall. Jags would be done not to take.
So
the Jags have a need in Trevor Lawrence, so I get it. But if you're at the point where you're that bad, I'm taking the best available. I think he's the best available right now, personally.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of talk about it, the Aidens of the world, the Cuts of the world, and all these different edge rushers that are in there. And it is a high valued edge rusher, but for me, by far, Walker is the best edge rusher in this draft and one of the best in a long time. Besides a Chase Young and a TJ Watts of the world, he is up there for me, and I think he's going to earn that level of respect with time come.
Soon to come. I like the position at that point. I just think it's a smokescreen thinking he's going to go number 1. Like we said, I think Trevor Lawrence is their main priority. Doug Peterson, offensive coach. Listen, if they pick him number 1, it's not a bad pick. I'm just saying, at that point, you have to look at yourself in the mirror and say, this is who we need. So the Jets are going to pick one of my favorite players, NC State offensive lineman, Icky, baby. He literally, if he wasn't in this draft, he'd be considered as a top pick as well. I think the Jets pick him out of.
Now, is it Keem or is it Icky? I want to settle because some people call him. I know it's the nickname. What does he prefer? What does his mom prefer? Is this like a Magic Johnson situation where like Magic Johnson's mom hates Magic because it has to do with the devil? What is their deal here?
I think Icky is the nickname. Akeem is his real name.
Okay. I just had to verify. We're getting to know these young cats. That's all.
Now it's the same thing as Trevor Lawrence. Zach Wilson's in the back. You want to protect him. You have Michael Carter, who's a good running back. You want to make sure these guys stay healthy for a long time. So you put him right there next to all the offensive linemen you drafted over the years, and you might have a solid offensive line. Now for the Giants, they do go with a guy who I'm like, I don't know what the Giants need, really. So I just told them, you know what, best available player it is again. So Kayvon Theodore from Oregon, everybody remembers him as being the guy who was supposed to go number 1 overall. Everybody was picking him. But at this point...
Did you just call him Kayvon Theodore?
Is that not
Thibodeau? It's
Thibodeau.
So he was the number 1 overall pick for a long time, like back, during the season. I mean, I think this guy's got huge upside, like huge. Like the fact that his stock dropped because he was hurt.
I think
he didn't even play against Ohio State, and they still kicked our ass.
I think somebody also
that guy's an animal on that side of the ball. He is absolutely disgusting. Another guy I think that's getting undervalued because of that injury. Way you remember, dude, you remember Tom Thibodeau from Very Odd Parents. That's the way you remember. But yeah, Kayvon Thibodeau is an absolute. He is not a human being, and I'm so excited to see him play at this next level. Him and Walker are honestly my guys that I am most excited about in this draft. Besides, of course, Malik Willis, God amongst men. We'll get to it there in a little bit.
Fuck you. All right. Well, the reason why I put him there, and I don't think I think the draft stock went down is because there is some plays, if you look at it, he kind of gives up, but that's just for you to look at. You make your decision. So the Panthers, listen, there's all this talk about the Baker Mayfield, blah, 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 this, and this. They're going to just go Kenny Pickett here. I think they need a quarterback. Kenny Pickett is the most pro-ready out of all of them. What that means to me is, especially in this, he's Alex Smith 2.0. He's going to keep the boat floating. He's going to make sure CMC doesn't get balls that'll kill him. DJ Moore, he'll give you 250 yards and 1 touchdown probably every week. He is not my favorite player. None of these quarterbacks are, so congratulations. You're going to Carolina, buddy. So Giants are also looking to trade away their corner and Bradbury. So this is where I cannot get enough of this guy. Ahmad Sauce Gardner. I love this guy so fucking much.
Big Sauce.
I love this guy he's so versatile. He can make sure that anybody, if you match him up with a good wide receiver, I think he will have a great time covering him. I just like his long, rangy coverage skills, especially in that defense where you have the back end taken care of, the front end taken care of. I just like him in that. So go ahead.
He's almost the most brand ready player. Fuck the most first day starter impact, all that. He is the most brand ready. He's gonna go ahead and sell you advertisements. He's gonna sell tickets.
Red hot.
Sauce is ready to play. He's ready to be both sides of the ball, on and off the field. Let's go, Sauce.
All right, ready, Joe? Ready to get into a debate?
Let's do it, baby. That's why we're here. Let the circus begin.
Falcons. Marcus Mariota is not your fucking future. Your future is Jamarcus Russell 2.0. Malik Willis, baby. Let's go.
No.
Let me finish. Everybody wants to get into, oh, he's athletic. He's this. He's that. Dude, he couldn't read a fucking defense. If the defensive player told him the defense was like, oh, it's cover 2, Malik, try to pass it to you. Who's he going to pass to? He doesn't have anyone. So guess what? There is no athletes that are going to help him. There's nothing that's going to help him besides Kyle Pitts. He is going to be Jamarcus Russell 2.0. But guess what? Falcons are going to fall in love with him. Quavo is going to give him a car, probably. So there you go. He fits the city. Congratulations, Malik. You go right here, bitch.
Listen, we'll get to this more in a little bit. I don't want this show to unravel so quickly if it hasn't already. But Keith, what do you think of Nude's comparison? He said, and I quote, I have screenshotted this, and I will go ahead and I will pull it up from November.
Until the mountain tops, baby.
He is EJ Manuel 2.0.
Oh, that too.
Oh, Christ.
Yeah,
that is so disrespectful.
That's dude, I'm not gonna lie, this guy can throw the football a mile. I think what's gonna really come down to is his mental. Like how is he gonna adjust and be able to read defenses?
Thank you.
That's the EJ Manuel thing. That's disrespectful.
No, I disrespect. Fuck this guy. Fuck Kenny Pickett too. Fuck all of them.
He's gonna be your quarterback for the next 2 decades.
I'm not big on any quarterback this draft. I'm not. If I'm taking a quarterback, I'm going next year. If that's if I'm the Panthers, I'm taking Baker Mayfield. He's going to be cheap as hell because the Browns fucked up. I'm going after him. He's my guy. Personally, I do have the Panthers taking a quarterback, but I think this draft is not a quarterback draft. It's just not. I think it's offensive linemen, defensive ends, wide receiver heavy, huge, and then you get your corners. But it's not a quarterback draft.
It's not.
I don't think right now. I mean, we have a quarterback every year, or a guy every year, or a player every year that nobody sees coming.
EJ Manuel.
I think Malik is hopefully not getting caught up in that hype. I think there's a guy that's very respected, like a Hugh Freeze, that obviously believes a whole lot in him, that made this kid and completely turned the Liberty Flame program around. Say what you will about the defenses he had to read in the competition he faced. Fine. Fair, I get it all. But what I see in this kid, though, still is decision-making, handling high-pressure situations, which he certainly did against the Liberty Flames. This guy took the Liberty Flames to an undefeated season, put them on the map as a school in the first place. And
I'm going to stop you right there. The Flames of Liberty. Who are they playing?
I said that. I mentioned that. I said the competition. I understand all that. It's weak. They're not reading high complex defenses. They're not playing Big Ten SEC schools. I find that's great. I think that this kid, when they played those type of schools, stepped up to the picture. And if you look at those games, he beat a whatever, say what you will, he beat a Virginia Tech. He played and competed against some of these other schools that are on that type of level. I think a lot of people are looking right past him because of that, just like they want to write off our boy Thibodeau because of that injury. Keith, it's the same type of thing. We see this every single year.
No,
I think
that's the Oregon Ducks, man.
You're talking about the Oregon Ducks.
Listen. You guys are focused too much on the level of the program and the competition of play. I understand that. I think he's going to be able to adjust to that.
You make me take crazy pills on this show. We're talking about the fucking Liberty Flames. You know you've been to that school millions of times.
Have a little respect for Virginia schools. Have a little respect for our athletic system and what we have built. God damn it.
On my list. if you hear any,
you're just around burning crosses, aren't a Liberty man, huh?
Oh my God,
we're gonna taking pisses on churches. I see what you're doing. It's fine.
You guys are probably gonna stop me at your team, but I'm just gonna run through this real quick. So, the Seahawks do take Derek Stingley. The Jets take Garrett Wilson at 10. 11. Commanders take Drake London. You might like that. 12,
Derek London.
I'm not.
No, Drake London.
I'm taking Jameson.
Oh, is it Drake? Man. Okay, yeah, my fault. A lot of names.
Yeah. 12. Vikings take Kyle Hamilton. Texans take Jermaine Johnson. Ravens take Jordan Davis, which I hated to mock out because that just fucking murders my whole fucking day. But it's probably gonna happen. 15. We have the Eagles.
Real quick, I just want to clarify. I don't want Drake London. Period. I don't believe in him. I don't think he's going to be anything worth of value when it's all said and done. I think he's another Dachshund.
Yeah. Where am I? 16 Saints take Charles Cross. 17 Chargers take Chris Olave. Eagles take Jameson Williams.
That's my boy.
Saints take Devin Lloyd. Steelers take Keith Boy, Elam. Patriots take Trent Duffy. Packers take Trey Burks. Cardinals take Tyler Lindenbaum. Cowboys take Devontae Watt. Bills take Andrew Booth. And then I have the Titans take Zion Johnson, a lineman. Bucks take Trevor Penning. Packers take Logan Hall. Chiefs take Dotson from Penn State. Chiefs take Quay Walker from Georgia. Bengals take Boy Mafe from Minnesota. And Lions take the biggest surprise in the draft, Desmond Ridder, because fuck Jared Goff.
I can see that.
You think he's dropping that far for sure?
Yeah, I think so.
Sure. So let's okay. Let me just tell you what my draft was. This is not any, and I predicted already. And I think if it's a prop, I would take it. I think 4 trades happen in this draft. I think somebody moves up for a quarterback. I think somebody moves up for Kyle Hamilton.
You guys do.
You could suck my brown dick, and then you could go, and then.
No, thank you, sir. But you guys do move up in the draft.
And I think somebody will move into the back end to take Hall, Iowa State running back, for their own taking, because a lot of them, you have Chiefs, you have, the Bucks could use him, the Bills we talked about a lot. Those teams could use a running back, so they could move back. A lot of and I put Commanders pick Drake. I know you hated London at that pick, but I think really, if you're going to let go of Terry McLaurin and you're not going to pay him, you need a wide receiver there. So
we're paying Terry. Shut up. We got enough money in the books. Everything's fine. We're getting Kyle Hamilton. Everything's fine.
You cooked the books.
We're drafting Kyle Hamilton. Fighting Irish. Let's go. Moving right along. I have 2 questions from your draft. Keith, if you have any questions from his mock draft, please go right after me. My first question is, you hated on this kid. You literally called him EJ Manuel 2.0, but you have him going.
I just answered that question. How many times can I answer this question? He is EJ Manuel 2.0.
That's not good enough for me.
What do you want?
I understand you're saying buy in the hype. I understand I need more.
Put the tape on. The dude
you're clearly into this, man. You clearly have a secret little fetish. You want to act like you're keeping your distance.
This is what happened. It is like if you, me, and Keith went to a playground and we played with 10-year-olds. And we looked good playing against 10-year-olds. But then dudes who had legit contracts in the NFL came to face us. We fucking sucked. All right? Hey. That's what EJ Manuel. That's what Malik Willis is. He played with 10-year-olds and fucking looked great. Good for him. He has all the intangibles. Great. Can he put all the other things together? I don't think so. And that's not enough just on him. It's on Ridder. It's on Corral. It's on Howe. It's on fucking Pickett, too. They all suck dick. They all are awful. If you want a quarterback in this draft, best of luck to you. And I know we're one of them, but I think we're smart enough to pick a guy like Elam, a guy like McDuffie, a guy like Lindenbaum, where we could just build before we get a quarterback behind that nonsense. Because guess what? Our division is Lamar Jackson. Our division is Deshaun Watson. Our division is Joe Burrow. I have no expectations of winning anything right now. So let's just calm the fuck down and not draft EJ Manuel 2.0, and everybody just suck a dick. Suck a dick.
Hey, Nude, can you cover your ears for a moment? Can you cover your ears?
Go.
Hey, Keith, I clearly need a new co-host. Anything whatever you want, you got it. It's done. We'll kick Nude out of this damn thing. I'll actually show up because I have a solid co-host. Just let me know. All right, Nude, uncover your ears. Lamar
Jackson versus Patrick Mahomes. Who won that battle? Next.
My last question for you is, I like that you decided to, I'm high on my guy, Trent McDuffie. I'm a big fan. So you think you guys go ahead, you make the Trent McDuffie selection. Why you said him, right?
No, I had Elam at us, and I had the Patriots taking McDuffie. So the Patriots lost, obviously, Jesse Jackson in the offseason. JC, sorry. They need somebody to – obviously, they go against – we talk about the wide receivers in their division. They have a lot of them. I mean, especially now with Tyreek Hill now joining the Miami Dolphins. You want a guy who could fit in that system, and I do like McDuffie too. I think corner is the least appreciated position in this draft. And McDuffie is the most underrated out of all of them. I think he could be right up there with Stingley. He could be right up there with Sauce. He in the right system, which the Patriots do have a great system for defensive backs. He could become something, and he could cover a Diggs. He could cover a Waddle. He could cover a Hill. So good on you, Patriots. I hated giving you that too, but fuck you.
And it's definitely a guy that I think will fit well in that high complex system too. He's a sharp motherfucker. This is a guy that is very disciplined. I fell in love with him because of that discipline. I'm excited to see what he does. I'm more excited to hear our draft expert, our cuck identifying expert, KEITH GROTHAUS. Go ahead, give us what you got, man. Break it down 1 through 32. What's your mock?
All right, I got a few holes. I was going through mine. But bear with me. So I said first I got Kayvon Walker, number 1. I think at that point you take the best available. And I just think he's the guy there. And then the cuckster himself, Aiden Hutchinson, can't hate on the ability, hometown kid. Hope he does well. Respectfully, go fuck yourself.
Well said, sir.
Texans, I got Evan Neal. I think they got to start building somewhere. They got to protect. At that point, again, I think you're taking the best available. And I think he's going to be right there.
Not to spoil, but I'm guessing then you have them going after an edge rusher at 13.
The Texans?
Yeah.
Yes. I have at 13, I have Jermaine Johnson. Yep.
Hey.
So we were similar to that, nude. At 4, I got Ecom. That's who I got there. Jets.
Wait, one more time for me, Keith. Go ahead.
Ecom. I think at one point,
we'll stick with
kind of like the Joe Burrow thing. Icky. At some point, it's kind of like the Joe Burrow thing. You got to, if you're going to make Zach Wilson your guy, you got to protect at some point. Again, best player available at that point. 5, I got Kayvon Thibodeau. I think him falling to 5 is a steal for the Giants. Those guys just breed edge rushers. I think this guy is going to be big there. At 6, 6, I got Malik Willis going to the Panthers.
Nude and Keith on the same page.
Hey, he said Kenny Pickett. I thought
I had Kenny Pickett.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said Malik Willis at 6, and then Kenny Pickett was at 32. Didn't you have Kenny Pickett falling way far?
You talking me?
Yeah.
No, I had Pickett at 6. I had Willis at 8, and I had Ritter at 32.
Okay, Ritter was what I was thinking of. I apologize. Keep going.
Yeah.
So I feel like their thought process there is kind of a Lamar Jackson-esque with good running back, wide, running back, right? Right, dude?
Stick with it, yeah, feel it. Hey. Ride with it, Keith. Right, but I mean, not a running back at all, though. I mean, a guy that has running back-like qualities that can make great quarterback decisions, and that's why he's in that role, is what you meant to say, right?
Yeah.
Yep, exactly. Now it's 7. This is my guy in the draft. I think he's going to make the biggest splash as a rookie, and it's my guy, Derek motherfucking Stingley.
Hey.
I think this guy is going to be big. And what I mean by that, I think he's just going to you guys were talking about the Cincy kid. I think he's great. I think Derek Stingley is the most NFL ready at the cornerback position, personally. And I hated that he had such a good pro day because there were talks about him potentially falling, but there's no shot. He'll go high, top 10. He's going to kill it. At 8, we got the Falcons. I had them taking the next corner, Ahmad Gardner. I think that would be big for them. Start to rebuild that team a little bit. I don't like the quarterback pick there personally. I think there's enough out there where they can get and off free agency. Going to the Seahawks, right? We're at number 9. I got Kyle Hamilton.
Hey.
Really big on this guy too. Like him for the Seahawks.
My guy.
Those guys Those guys breed good, good safeties there, so I think he'll be good. At 10,
right under our nose, man.
At 10, best wide receiver in the class. It's not even close. Garrett Wilson.
Hey.
Not even close. So
Agreed.
that's a lot going to depend on the Deebo stuff too, right? It's gonna be interesting. But I like.
I was a little
Wilson
worried you'd have him hire Keith and have some bias in there. Thank you for not having any bias there.
Of course not.
No,
of course not.
I agree with Keith about the whole Deebo thing. At 10, if they trade out, I can see the 49ers taking Garrett Wilson in that position and let Deebo go to New York.
Could see that. So a lot of it's going to depend on the Deebo stuff. But right now, if everything's as is, I think they take the best wide receiver, and that's going to be Garrett Wilson. And then I got the Commanders, Washington football team, taking a wide receiver, Jameson Williams, another Ohio State guy going to Bama. I'm not big on this guy from USC. I think Jameson Williams was debatably the best receiver in the class until he got hurt, right? Probably the most explosive, but he's up there right next to Garrett Wilson. At 12, we get the Vikings. I got them taking Jordan Davis, defensive tackle.
Big hog.
Like that for them. Texans, I already spoiled this. I got Jermaine Johnson. At 14, we got the Ravens. I like this guy. It's the guy from Iowa I mentioned earlier, the center, Tyler Linderbaum. Hog volley. I think they're going to protect their running backs. They need to invest. At 15, we got
Agreed.
Let's see.
That's an NFL ready right off the gate guy for me too.
Oh yeah, I agree. So I think the Eagles, they're just historically bad at picking wide receivers. They're going to take that guy out of USC. They're going to take Drake London. And I think it's just going to be a huge drop in the ball. They need to get someone from free agency. They need to pick someone up, but I have them taking the guy out of USC. At 16, I got Charles Cross.
You're going to go through disappointment all over again.
Yes, sir. And then at 17, when we got the Chargers, I got my other guy, my favorite player coming out of the draft by far is Chris Olave. By far. He's biased, obviously. Oh, yeah. He was, man, he's so fun to watch. His route running he was only a 3-star coming out of high school. So he wasn't a big, recruit. He's really just grinded. Garrett Wilson, just natural. Jameson Williams, natural. Chris Olave is going to be great with that offense. Justin Herbert, not as good as Joe Burrow. That's another conversation me and Shady can have offline, but that's where we're at with that.
Yeah, we definitely will have to unpack that a little bit more. I'll let you keep rolling though.
18, we got the Eagles. I got Devin Lloyd, linebacker. They got to build there. And then at 19, I got the Saints taking Kenny Pickett out of Pittsburgh.
Okay.
So there's a question mark there for them. And I think they go quarterback there. At 20, Steelers, Snood. I got you guys taking the corner out of Florida.
Yeah.
Elam.
Fuck Malik Willis, Joey. Fuck him.
If you guys take Malik, I will throw a party if you guys take Malik Willis. I will love every second of it.
You will literally see somebody die off camera. Like Sam might actually put out a scroll saying, Michael's dead. What happened? Dead by fucking stupid ass picks from the Pittsburgh Steelers. It was only a fucking matter of time.
Let's just make sure in 2 days we have a watch on Nude and that everything goes okay. I think we might need to handcuff him. Make sure that we at least have some police on the scene during the Steelers pick because he's going to be quite emotional when he finds out who his quarterback is for the next 2 decades.
Fuck you.
I love it. Where are we at? What did we just do? We just did the Steelers, right?
We just did pick 20, just did the Steelers.
All right, so we're at 21. I got Trent McDuffie going to the Pats. And then at the Packers, I got them taking a wide receiver.
On the same page.
Yep. The Packers, I think they go wide receiver. They're going to take Treylon Burks out of Arkansas. So we also had that in common.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Shit, where am I at here?
You're at 23.
We just did 23. We got the Cardinals taking Trevor Penning out of Iowa State.
Big Penny.
I like that guy. Like that guy.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be good. Where are we off to now? We got Dallas. I think they're going to take Devontae Wyatt at the 24th pick. The 25th pick, the Buffalo Bills are going to go on a limb and take the guy who just ripped apart his Achilles, David Ojabo.
Oh, nice.
Deserved.
That's a guy that could be someone to look out for. I feel bad that he had that happen in the draft. Probably a top 15 guy if he doesn't get hurt. I was pretty big on him. Being a Michigan guy, I thought he didn't get quite the credit with Aiden Hutchinson being there. Cuckinson, there it is. Trademark.
Good old Cuckinson. We're stealing that on Face the Franchise, and I hope you can employ that every time we have you back on, because we will, sir.
Of course.
Thank you for creating the error of Cuckinson.
Of course. All right, we're at 26.
Yep.
Who do we got? We're at Tennessee. I got them taking Zion Johnson out of Boston College, offensive lineman. At 27, who do we got? We got Tampa Bay. I had them taking Bernard Raymond, offensive lineman out of Central Michigan. At 28, we got the Packers again. I got Nakobe Dean out of Georgia, linebacker.
Yep, as close as you're going to get.
Yep. At 29, I got the Kansas City Chiefs taking Jahan Dotson out of Penn State University. And then at 30, who do we got? We got Kansas City again, right? Yeah,
yep.
Kansas City again. I got them taking defense, Logan Hall out of Houston, defensive lineman.
Mm-hmm.
And then my guys at 31, here we go. I got Andrew Booth out of Clemson.
There it is. I knew that was coming.
That's a bit of a stretch. That's a bit of a stretch, but I would love to get him at 31. Would love that. I think he would fit great. I know we've had a lot of talks with him. We need to get Eli Apple the fuck out of Cincinnati. That dude sucks. And I think this guy would be awesome. Being on the other side of Awuzie and having Bates on the backside, I think he'd be great. And then at 32, I'm riding with Shoot on this one. Desmond Ridder to the Lions. Did not expect it out of
Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen.
I got Desmond Ridder. I mean, I think Jared Goff is just, they're going to give him a few weeks. If he doesn't perform, call it in. They're gonna see what happens. But that's what I got. And
so a lot of similarities with Nude. First of all, I did like it a whole lot, though. Like how you broke it down. Just for our non-YouTube viewers, this man is taking notes literally as he goes. Way more professional than me and Nude will ever be. So non-hat that I don't have on off to him as well. My first question to you, out of all that, I think you broke it down. I think we see similar, especially on the edge rushers coming in this year. I want to know what your take was, though, on the whole Eli Apple situation in the Super Bowl. Talking a lot of jazz. I know this doesn't have to do with your draft pick at all. Obviously, this is inspiration of why you want this man out of town. Do you feel like Eli Apple directly cost you a Super Bowl, and why you're going to be going ahead and taking a quarterback at 31? Can you elaborate that at all? What are your feelings? Do you have a little voodoo doll that tortures him while hopefully he sleeps through some witchery or saintatery or magic?
I mean, he definitely didn't help our case, but at the end of the day, our defense, played pretty damn well down the stretch. There was a point there where we were punting back and forth. It comes down to our offensive line. It really did. Our defense showed up when they needed to. We couldn't score when it mattered. There was in the second half there, we were getting stops. It wasn't because of Eli fucking Apple. I can tell you that right now. But it came down to our offensive line. I think there was just a lot of – these guys are so young. Zach Taylor, guy gives me a heart attack every game. So to get to that point and to compete against the best team in the world, I wouldn't put that on Eli Apple. I'm going to put that on our front five, and we addressed that already in free agency. So we're already taking the right steps. Eli Apple, if he's there, he's there. I don't see him being a starter the whole year, and I think we're going to address that at some point in the draft. It's just, when is that going to happen? And I hope it's in the first round.
So – you know what pick I want to bring up? And it's pick 14.
Pick 14, the Ravens. Okay.
Yeah. Why do you like to hurt me, Keith?
Because look, it makes the most sense for them, honestly. I mean, they need a wide receiver is what they really need. But unfortunately, where they're at in the draft, Garrett Wilson's going to be gone. Jameson Williams might be gone. Center, that guy's just a stud. I mean,
see, my opinion is it doesn't matter who they pick. They're a bitch-ass motherfucker anyway. So I'm going to be hating them for the next 10, 15 years. Lamar Jackson was one of my favorite college players of all time. Guess what he is to me now? A running back. Let's go, baby. Let's go. It always comes full circle. Let's do it.
Again, hey, Nude, cover your ears. Again, Keith, like anything you want, dude. I will literally give you my life savings. Come and join the show. We'll kick this man out. You'll never have to speak to him anymore. Everything will be great. Nude, you can listen again. Great takes, buddy.
Earmuff yourself. Were you really
well, first of all, before I go ahead and go down my 1 through 32, I will give you a brilliant take. Obviously, we know. What'd you say? What are we saying?
I said, would he really want to join a show where a guy actually thought that Lamar Jackson was better than Patrick freaking Mahomes?
I mean, he is, and he clearly showed that this past season after defeating him embarrassingly so. He showed continued confidence and great decision making. The ball is really starting to come together in terms of accuracy. Fuck what you say, he can throw deep ball all day. Doesn't matter, downwind, upwind. He's a fucking goddamn, again, God against men, just like Malik Willis. And I'm so excited to get into my 1 through 32. Keith, let's go ahead. Let's break it down. I've already given some spoilies here and there, so I'm going to run through this pretty quick. Object where you find necessary. I know there's going to be some objections coming, so go ahead and fight your battles. Pick your battles. That's all I'll say. Starting out, number 1 overall, as I've already said, the often forgotten man, I think, in this draft, Trayvon Walker, absolute beast out of Georgia. He's going to change things for that Jaguar team. He's going to help Trevor Lawrence on the other side of the ball. I'm excited. He is the best edge rusher in this draft. I don't care what anybody says. Next up at 2, the Lions are going to not take Hutchinson. They are going to take the second best edge rusher in this draft. That is Kayvon Thibodeau. Kayvon Thibodeau out of Oregon is going to absolutely have an immediate impact for this Lions defense. And unfortunately, I'm so sorry, Texans, you will have Hutchinson and you will regret it. I understand. I think everyone wants to talk Malik Willis is probably the most overhyped prospects in this draft. Bullshit, baloney. I am so tired of hearing about this man, Hayden Hurst. I understand the technique is there. I don't think the transition and the pop and the explosiveness, and you want to compare him to the Bosa brothers, you want to compare him to Watt, you want to go ahead, ignore the Heat pregame, motherfucker. I see you looking over. Ignore that Heat pregame and come back and look at me, dude. Look me in the fucking eyes.
I'm listening. You're in my ear. I have headphones.
Don't look at that Heat pregame. I know what you're doing.
Go.
I just don't believe in this man whatsoever. I think he will be one of the bigger busts out of the 2022 draft. Moving right along, next up, I do have who I think, and everybody pretty much is on the same page here, that the best lineman in this draft is Evan O'Neal out of Alabama. I have him going 4th to the Jets. Next up, 5th, I'm going to go ahead and have Akeem Iguanu is how I want to say it. If I butchered it and I butcher any of these names, I do apologize.
Iguana,
what was that, Keith?
Iguana.
Yeah, there you go. Akeem Iguana. Next up, I'm going to go ahead and everyone, you know what? Everyone everywhere wants to say Kenny Pickett. I don't think they go for him here. In fact, I think they're in very much the GM mind of what Keith would do in this situation if he was in that front office. And he said himself, he does not believe in any quarterback. We're rolling. We're going to go ahead. We're going to try to find some cheap seats in a Baker, see what Sam Darnold can get us. I think that's where they stay, and they're going to get protection from Charles Cross. That's who they go with. Yes, Charles Cross is going to go ahead. So I'm basically saying edge rusher, lineman for the first 6 picks. No QBs. In fact, I don't have a QB going until the 11th pick. Next up, of course, we're going to go ahead, and I think that the Giants are actually going to throw some people off here. I believe that they're going to go ahead, and that's when Sauce is going to go ahead and go. I think they get him there. I think they have confidence. They continue to ride out their current situations. This secondary is abysmal as it is. It's always been abysmal. I understand what they can make out of edge rushers. I don't think they grab one here. I think they're all in on the Sauce. They're fully dipping in. Sauce Gardner to the Giants. Next up, I'm going to go ahead, and this is when I have Mr. Derek Stingley Jr., absolute beast. I think we're all on the same page. We're all excited at what he's done at LSU. Has been awesome to see. Love this guy. He's going to go ahead and make at least you know somebody on that Atlanta Falcons defense at the very least. I think he's going to do much more than that, though, too. Over down at 9, we're wondering what the Seahawks are going to do. What move are they going to make? They are drafting Kenny Pickett at pick 9. Pickett's home will be in Seattle. I think that he is going to fit right into that Pete Carroll system, and excited to see how he kind of grows. Maybe we finally see Chris Carson stay healthy, DK Metcalf stay right there with them once that pick gets made, and the Seahawks team is relevant again. With that being said, we go to pick 10. And I haven't had any objections yet, so I know after this next pick, it's going to get a little spicy. So hold on to your seats, ladies and gentlemen.
I was going to wait until you finish.
Your call. Do what you'd like to do, whatever you decide to do. But I have a feeling you're going to eject a little bit early. Although same page right here with their 10th pick from the Seattle Seahawks. We're going to go ahead and we're going to go Garrett Wilson out of Ohio State. Jets are going to give Zach Wilson that weapon he deserves. He already has the best mentor you could possibly have behind him in Joe Flacco. So eliteness is only going to grow. And I can't wait to see what the Jets finally do, a sleeper playoff team in my book. Now, hold on. Did you hear that? Ring, 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 ring. Yeah, hi, this is the devil himself that should be in jail for for the rest of his life and is a piece of shit, a.k.a. Dan Snyder. Oh, what's that, Steelers? You're getting a little nervous? The Seahawks just drafted Kenny Pickett?
What?
You don't know what to do? You're worried? Guess what? The Redskins, Roger Goodell comes in and he says the Redskins have just traded the 11th pick to the Pittsburgh Steelers for Chase Claypool and a first-round pick next year.
There's not a chance in hell that happens.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Second-round pick next year.
As much as I would love to trade Chase,
all right, hey, let me finish. You said you're going to let me finish.
I would not do that.
Chase Claypool and a second-round pick contestable for next year, and the Pittsburgh Steelers at pick 11 draft their quarterback for the next 2 decades.
No.
The most slept-on quarterback in a long time. I don't care how hyped he is being. This guy is legit.
Manuel.
He's going to adjust to the new competition. He's going to learn how to read those defenses way quicker than you guys even realize. He's a brilliant man. Hugh Freeze has said the best quarterback he's ever seen. I can't wait. I'm a big Hugh guy as well.
Stick
with the Lord. Christ be with you. May Christ compel you. The Pittsburgh Steelers in the 2022 draft at pick 11 draft Malik Willis.
The best quarterback Hugh Freeze has ever seen. Hugh Freeze. That is our barometer. That is our fucking barometer. The fucking guy from Liberty. All right, go ahead.
If that happens, I would. Oh God, that would be a dream.
If that happens, Keith, get my funeral ready, bury me, and please. And I know this is the running joke. Oh, invite all the Steelers to let me down one more time. Don't even invite them. Don't even let them know I was a fan. Because fuck them. I would be a full-time Heat fan. I will be a full-time Miami Heat fan. I won't even be like, oh, I'll wait until I'll watch all the Heat games. I do, but of course, I pick a Steelers game over the Heat. I might pick a Heat against the fucking New York Knicks game over the Steelers game if that fucking happens. I will shove 2 knives. My God.
Let me be perfectly clear. What you just said on this show is if you draft Malik Willis at all, period, or if you guys trade up like I just suggested from Malik Willis, you will retire as a Steelers.
I told you. What did I say in the text? I said, even though I think he's EJ Manuel 2.0, if we stay put and it happens to be the pick, It happens to be the pick. We didn't lose anything. We lost that first-round pick. Ho-hum. We drafted Artie Burns at one point. But if we trade up for any of these godforsaken quarterbacks, I might do it. I might do something I might say something corny. Keith. I might take my car into a guardrail the next time I go to work. I might call off work.
You would do that either way. You're terrible at driving.
Yes, but I would do it on purpose.
So go ahead, the little calling them out. Let's go.
Oh my god!
All right, let's go to pick 12. Let's move on. Let's let him breathe. What are we at 12?
All right.
Yeah. We need a referee from time to time.
Let's talk
right
Vikings
along
football.
to pick 12. We'll go ahead and move on. So here at pick 12, I think this is kind of the standard. I have nothing fancy here. I got Jordan Davis going ahead. That defensive line needs patching up. He's the guy to do it. I think he's coming right out the gate ready to go. I think that the Texans double down and get my man out of Florida State. They get Jermaine Johnson at 13. So me and Keith on the same page there. At 14, Ravens. I'm same page once again, Keith. I think Tyler is going to go ahead and be the guy there for the Ravens. They need somebody to protect. Arguably, the greatest quarterback is this generation. And whoever wants to call him a running back is an utter idiot and clown. So I don't even hearsay that. That's just hearsay. Moving right along, we have the Eagles who are going to go ahead. I like Jameson Williams as well. We're kind of similar here, Keith, on a lot of our things. I think we researched in similar places. I have a funny feeling, but I really do like Jameson Williams a whole lot. I think they finally break the curse. They do got a guy named Devontae Smith who I think already broke that curse, whether people want to believe in him or not. I think this guy really showed, especially the last couple of weeks of last season, what he was capable of, that he is that threat. I think the perfect complement is going to go ahead and be that guy out of Alabama. Do I think he's going to be an ultimate superstar? No, but I think this guy will be a consistent guy in the league for years to come. I go ahead and at pick 16, I don't think they're going quarterback. Famous Jameis baby is going to bring it on all the way home. I've always said we need to do a little Jesus Christ, wild card. What's it called when I'm blanking on the name, dude. What's the name when the running back goes ahead and runs the set?
Wildcat.
Thank you. I've been saying for years.
That's the Ravens offense.
I don't know what you're talking about. Again, just nonsense takes from nonsense people that, again, won't be host of this show any much longer, so it doesn't matter what they say. But I do think it's going to be Chris Alabe out of Ohio State that the Saints are going to go ahead and draft. Next up, I have Tyler Smith coming to the Chargers. They just need to pinch at that line just a little bit to protect Justin. That defense is good to go. They may have some parts here and there that they pick in later rounds. For that Eagles next pick, I got Jalen Petrae. That's French. Can somebody help me out there with the pronunciation?
Wait, say that again.
Jalen Petrae?
What are you talking? Who you from? What school?
I don't know who that is.
Baylor? You don't know? Baylor? See,
you got a Baylor? A random guy?
Nobody?
I think you just picked.
Whoa! First of all, Jalen Petrae out of Baylor is one. He's a guy that they need in that safety position. I honestly think he's a store brand Honey Badger 2.0. Say what you will. If you don't know who he is or haven't seen his highlights, you were sadly mistaken. It's disrespectful to call him a random guy. Yeah, you are a fucking moron. I don't know. You know who he is, Keith?
I don't. I'm gonna be completely honest.
Are you serious?
I just know what happened in the first round. I just don't know where you got this notion. Like, where was
it's
look
okay.
him up. He's protected. He's often their pick. Their second pick at 18.
I'm looking at the first two rounds.
First round in a lot of places. I happen to agree.
Second round.
I guess that's Joe Spoil. That's Joe.
You guys are insane.
Go ahead, buddy.
You have not heard of Jalen Petrae. Insane. I don't know what's wrong with you guys. Clearly, you didn't do as thorough research as someone else. You can pretend to take notes all day, Keith, but it shows. Next up, we have. I'm just really surprised you guys haven't heard of him, honestly. Next up, we have at pick 19. That's going to be the Saints once again from the Eagles. That is going to be Trevor Penning out of Northern Iowa, offensive line. at pick 20, we are going to go ahead, and he did fall to us. Thank goodness. We're going to go ahead and pick my boy Hamilton out of Notre Dame. Redskins at that 20th pick. So we are very, very happy to have him. Welcome aboard. We're going to take command and shock the world. It's going to be fantastic. At 21, I do have my boy Trent McDuffie going to the Pats. I think he's going to do great in that system. I like him a whole lot there. I then have Devin Lloyd going to the Packers at 22. I think he's going to be a fit and actually mesh really well in terms of that overall scheme. Next up with the Cardinals at pick 23, I have George Karlaftis. I like this man out of Purdue. Out of Purdue. I think that's another undervalued guy that I've paid a lot of attention to. Maybe not everybody has really given him the credit he deserves, but I think he's a perfect sleeper edge guy after all these hyped up edge guys have gone. He's a guy that's got technique that really kept that Purdue offense or defense scary the whole entire season or whole entire career while he was there, honestly. That's a guy that's going to make impact right away, and we're going to be talking a whole lot about come this season. Next up at pick 24, I got Kenyan Green, offensive line. That's going to be the worst team ever to exist pick. After that, we're going to go ahead and we have Kyle Gordon for the Buffalo Bills out of Washington. I think they need help in that secondary as much as possible. I got Zion Johnson on offensive line for the Titans, who I believe I'm similar with somebody on that, right?
I think we are.
I know. I had him at 26.
I had him there for the Titans.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, okay, we're similar. Okay, yeah, similar on that. Same page there. I got Devontae Wyatt going defensive line from Georgia, going to the Bucks. That second first-round pick for the Packers. I have Treylon Burks. I think they need a little compliment at Arkansas. I think somebody else had that as well. Mm-hmm. I have here Elam out of Florida for that first pick of the back-to-backs for the Chiefs, as well as to follow that up, David Njoku. And then at 31, for your boys, I've gone back and forth. I've really decided somebody that I like a whole lot that I think will be actually a mix, and you may not like this. I actually like Daxton Hill. Safety-wise, I know you guys need a little help in the corner spot, but I like him in the safety position. I think he's somebody that you're going to be able to rely on, and then you can patch up the corner in free agency. I think that's a guy that's going to have an immediate impact for you and really buy into that culture. And then at 32, I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to join the bandwagon on this one. I did have somebody different. I didn't even have Mr. Desmond going until the second round, but I'll just join the crew on this. We got to be camaraderie somewhere. So 32, Desmond Ridder to the Detroit Lions.
All right. I bit my tongue long enough. I bit my tongue.
Thank you, Keith. Appreciate
you
it,
fucking
can't wait to start our new podcast.
You ended up picking Kyle Hamilton at 20. And what?
Yeah, I will say that raised some eyebrows. I was like, okay, that's a stretch.
Well, listen. First of all, I think Kyle Hamilton is somebody that is getting a little bit more love. I think he is going to be one of those case of the drops for sure.
What? He's not going to get.
I think he's going to fall out farther than people think.
If anything, if we traded with you, it is for Kyle Hamilton.
And the fact you don't know who Jalen is insane.
All right, that's first of all, what Mickey Mouse organization are we running here? Where that you found that name out of nowhere? I looked.
Bro, I'm gonna remember this moment
as you're talking.
When he is a superstar, when he is multiple selected Pro Bowls, when he leads a team to a Super Bowl, we'll see who's talking.
What website did you get this mock draft from? Whose dumbass did you get this from? Because Joey, you're smarter than that. Where did the fuck did this guy come from? What world did this guy come from?
Listen, so I'm glad you're happy with your quarterback pick overall. This is how the draft's going to go down. This was about 20 hours of in-depth research, going back and forth. Watching highlight tape, really breaking down the guys' pro days. And really, you're just kind of exposing once again who you are, amateur and unprofessional, little to no knowledge on the sport as a whole.
You love chaos.
All right, let's wrap up with some sleepers. Everyone,
Keith is taking over as host. Look at it. He's like,
I gotta go too.
I know he's got to go because he's gonna have a heart attack. But also, I have two that I really like.
I have two as well. Go ahead, Keith.
You want me to go first?
You want me to go? I'll go first.
You can go first. That's fine.
All right. So I have one of my favorite day 2 picks is actually Sky Moore. I think Sky Moore is going to be a really good wide receiver. I think the MAC really has pushed out these kind of like compact wide receivers that we all talk about, especially at Western Michigan. The guy can absolutely fly. So if you need a guy who can punt return, kick return, as well as be a slot wide receiver, I think Sky Moore will be there. A guy that might end up being a day 3 pick. But I think, honestly, Joey, this goes back to your point with Malik Willis, but it actually is for him. Troy Anderson from Montana, a linebacker who has size and absolute blazing speed that I think if he was on Georgia, Clemson, I think we might talk about him in the back end of the first round, maybe start of the second round, third round. He is that good. I just think people will think the competition was lackadaisical, obviously being in Montana. I just think he is a raw talent that if you put in your system, he can be 100+ tackle guy. So I'm not saying Pro Bowler, but yeah, 100+ tackle guy.
Definitely a sneaky sleeper. I like that a lot.
Whoever wants to go next. Nobody.
I'll go.
I'll go if you want.
No, fuck it. I'll go. I picked up a third one because
I only got one guy.
So a guy I think it's going to get drafted by our boy John Alfieri. If you're listening at one day, Colts are going to go for George Pickens out of Georgia. And I am big on this guy. If he can keep a head on his shoulders, he is a head case and a half. But this dude is going to be good, especially if he's with Matty Ice in that young offense. Look out for him. And then a guy I was just looking at, I don't know how he got lost in translation through this whole thing. Kenneth Walker out of Michigan State.
Yep.
Someone is going to pick him up. Someone is going to pick him up, and he's going to be great. Like he's just going to be a guy like almost. He kind of reminds me of oh my God, he's in Ohio State, and I'm fucking blanking for the Ravens.
Oh, you're talking about Major T?
No, not Master T. That guy's a hack. The guy, why am I blanking on? He plays for the Ravens right now. He plays for the Ravens right now.
Oh, fucking. Yes.
He reminds me of J.K. Dobbins. I don't know how the fuck I forgot that.
That's your boy. No,
that's my boy. I'm sorry. Yeah. I literally just slept on it. But I see him being that kind of guy. He's going to be good. He'll go to like the Cardinals or some shit and splitting carries with, James Conner, all that kind of stuff. And then my biggest one, I think
the wire pickup come week 10, 11 for sure.
Oh yeah. And then a guy I love, this is some hometown loving. I think the Bengals are going to go for him. I think this position so hard is Jeremy Rucker out of Ohio State at tight end.
Okay.
The Bengals need a tight end, and this guy is.
I knew a tight end.
We did pick up Hayden Hurst, but tight end, if he's there, he'll be probably like a third round guy. I could see him being an asset to our run game and splitting time with Hayden Hurst. So I'm really big on him as well. That's
my only guy, I like that. I like our sleepers here. Definitely going to wake up and make their names known at a certain point. I think a guy that it's going to be 50-50. There's a chance of an explosion. He's definitely going to be a 6th, 7th round guy. Look him up, boys. E.J. Perry out of Brown University. That's right, out of Brown University. Transferred from Boston College to Brown University. Threw for over 3,000 yards 2 seasons in a row for Brown. Guy is a dual threat, somebody that can make an impact, maybe a guy that can sneak in, be that trustworthy backup when you need him. Little small, but I think that he can transfer pretty well and actually shock some people. You know what they said about, the greatest quarterback of all time, didn't have the body type. They smiled, they smirked, they went ahead and jerked off in the corner and cried when they found out the truth about Tom Brady. You want to hate on E.J. Perry, go ahead. Keith, I see you doing your research there, man. It's a man that I think is going to surprise a whole lot of people. And if you can't deep dive, Nude, if you can't really go in, dig in the dirt, go to some of those Ivy League schools, then you're just not working. You're just not grinding.
I am flabbergasted by Joey's stuff. Thursday is going to be so much fun. Again, thank you guys for rocking with us.
You are on the record. You are officially retiring as a Steelers fan if you guys draft Malik Willis. And then the mental gymnastics to go backwards to convince yourself that he is good will be fascinating to watch.
Stop. Mental gymnastics, no. I will. If he is good, I promise you, I will say he is good or bad. And then I will say I was wrong, or I'll say I was right. Number 2, won't retire as a Steelers fan. Would say I'd pick a Miami game over a Steelers game. And number 3, if we trade up for him, I would be more pissed if all that comes together. If we pick him at 20, nothing changes. It's fine. All right. But thank you for rocking.
I didn't hear what you said. Say that again.
Keith, thank you for being our guest host. You've been great.
We appreciate you having it as a referee in your take, Keith.
Yes, and we'd like to give a shout out to everybody out there.
An awesome job, man.
Download, subscribe. Go on our
everybody
Instagram.
out there. You're giving a shout out to everybody out there, like no specifics.
Shout out to the world. Shout out to all human beings across the world.
Shout out to our fans. Shout out to everybody who listened to that entire thing. This is an hour.
Shout out Johnny Depp. It's looking like you're a victim of domestic violence overall. Way to stick through it. Sorry,
this is why the shows are longer than they are. Like, comment, and subscribe. Follow us on IG, Facebook, and Twitter. Also, everything on Four Corners, from Five Holers to us to all the other podcasts. And then we like to give a shout out to our sponsors, Stuck Up Clothing, finest fashion money can buy. Go on their website, find their new clothing line, get their new stuff, as well as Seductions by Jax. She is booked up until God knows when because of wedding season. So go to her IG now, get an appointment, get your hair done, get everything that you need.
Got a couple days available. Get it while you can because they will go.
Absolutely. And Eyesight, that's with an I. Eyesight Mobile Eyewear Company, the mobile eyewear company that comes to you. Go follow them on IG for their new lines of eyeglasses and sunglasses, as well as this episode is brought to you by Smooth Your My Balls. Man, nooks and crannies in there. You don't want to get nicked up. You need that smooth.
Especially with summer coming. Don't be all sweaty and hairy at the same time.
Don't wear Speedo with those patchy hairs out. Like, shave that up a little bit.
Like those European guys. No one wants that.
Yeah. That's the use promo code 4CR20 at your next purchase to get money off. That is the number 4 CR, the number 20 to get money off. I am your host, the Pharaoh. That is the gymnast, Keith Grothaus. That is also Lil Joe. Stay breezy, stay easy, and one love always.
With the 11th pick in the 2022 draft, the Pittsburgh Steelers